Too many hammers here.
Oh, 5:45, okay.
My throat for the week.
We'll call the Public Works and Protection Committee for the Village of Ashwaubenon on Tuesday, October 1, 2019, to order. Roll call, please.
Mike Melchewski.
Here.
Allison Williams.
Here.
Joanne Euclid.
Here.
Kimball Poster.
Here.
Josh Cornell.
Here.
It's customary to recite the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What'd you lose?
Take a motion on the minutes from the Public Works and Protection Committee regular meeting, September 3rd, 2019.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 6, comments from the public. Seeing none, we can dispense with item 6.
We skipped something here. Agenda. Did you do the agenda or the minutes? That you.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did skip it over.
Did Josh and Joanne mess it up, or what happened?
A motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay. We'll go back to 6, comments from the public. We have none. Number 7, action items. Action on appeal of denied operator's license, Giuseppe Mascola.
Giuseppe Mascola applied for an operator's license as noted and was denied. Giuseppe, I did have a conversation with Mr. Mascola weeks ago regarding today's meeting and the village board meeting. He's not in attendance. He did indicate to me that he was going to come and speak to you on behalf of his appeal. And the only thing I can ascertain is he's under the belief our normal start time is 6:30. So it depended upon the actions of the committee. I just throw that out there. It's your decision to make.
Is that him?
Sir, what?
Sir, come on in.
I guess we'll find out. That's Giuseppe. Yes. If you want to step up front.
Sure. You need to state your name and address for the record.
Sure. Guiseppe Mascola. Do you want me to spell that?
No, we have it. Address.
4444 Nakoma Trail, Green Bay, Wisconsin, 54313.
Okay.
So I take it you guys, do you have the letter that I had proposed to you guys?
Yeah, we just got to this item on the agenda, yeah.
Sure, I do have a letter from my employer as well, just as an endorsement and basically just a letter of good faith. Do you want me to hand that over that or over here for you guys?
I can take it for the record if
Yeah,
you'd
sure.
like me to keep it.
Yeah, basically it's just something for you guys. So.
I'll read this into the record. Giuseppe Mascola began employment at Nakashima of Japan in April 2018. He filled out an application and disclosed his full criminal history with us. He has been an outstanding employee, always showing up on time and having a professional attitude while working. We feel he will become a great bartender by serving alcohol responsibly, something we take very seriously. Please give him the opportunity to redeem himself. It was a simple misunderstanding on his part. Thank you for your time. We will respect the decision that you make. Sincerely, Joe Nakashima, General Manager.
How old are you, sir?
Just turned 30.
Just turned 30, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So explain to us what happened with filling out the application.
So yeah, basically, I'll pull this a little forward. When I came in to fill out the application, I had a shift at about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I came in right before you guys had closed. I should have taken the time to sit down, go home with the application, and actually kind of read the directions. I just simply didn't read everything. At the top portion, I believe where it asked about the last 5 years for your addresses, I confused that portion with the criminal history, and for whatever reason, again, I just glanced at it. I kind of didn't think it was, not that it was a big deal, but I was kind of in a hurry for work, so If I would have taken it home, I would have seen that I made a mistake, because if you looked at the application, I felt that I left out the past 5 years and the criminal history just completely blank. So again, that was an oopsie on my part. I had the letter from my employer to show that I wasn't trying to hide anything or be deceitful in any way. I mean, they were the ones that pushed me to kind of become a bartender. They saw that I was just doing well in the rest of the restaurant. I'd worked there for a year and a half now and been in the restaurant industry. So they kind of thought that I would do well at the front end, kind of within customers and everything. And yeah, I guess, it's my fault that I didn't take the time, take the application home and read it fully and give it the thought it deserved. This is something I do take seriously. I went to school at the University of Milwaukee for psychology, and I'm about 15 credits shy of getting my bachelor's. So right now I've been working basically since when I got in trouble about 5 years ago to save up to get back into school and kind of get my life back together. Luckily, I have good parents. They let me move back in with them, so I've been able to stay somewhere partially rent-free, but still helping out around the house and basically putting that money aside so I can get back into school. So the bartending thing is something that I think can help me, especially when I move back to the city. It'll just be good experience that I have here, that I've worked somewhere, and something I can do on the side while going to school. So yeah, this is just something that was a misunderstanding. I'd like the opportunity just to fill the application out again the correct way and see if that's something I can do.
Mr. Clerk, is that possible, to file a new application?
Well, there's no need other than, the app's already before you. It essentially is, he can fill out the remainder if the chief wants to speak to that.
Okay.
Sure. So one of the reasons for the denial was because of, yes, it was incomplete. And taking over for the former chief, looking at these applications, we've noticed, and maybe the people filling out don't realize, but we do the criminal history on this. So we get anything and everything they're involved in. Then we also do the extensive search of the circuit court as well. So something that we may miss in that first part, we also may get in that second part. Nothing against our gentleman here this evening, but it wasn't complete. It wasn't filled out. And as a village, these are things we take serious just because of what he's going to do, what we're going to give him. We're going to give him that license to serve alcohol. I don't know him from Adam. We would leave this up to you for your discretion if you'd like to give him that license. But again, filling out that application is just as important as making sure the person I'm serving a drink to should or shouldn't be having that next drink.
So it's an application he has to fill out both over there if he wants employment, and he has to fill one out here that has his living history for 5 years and a criminal history if there is one.
That's
that
correct.
has to be filed with your office, Pat? So, but I have to follow up Mike's question. So where are we in that whole process of not having filled it out completely? Does he have to do it now, or should he do it, or what?
So what happened is that he's been denied.
Right.
And to fill it back out again or to reapply, I would defer to our village attorney for that.
Mr. Wakowitz gets the big bucks for these decisions.
There's nothing in our ordinance that speaks to or prohibits from reapplying, but essentially you're going to be in the same spot. I mean, you've got an incomplete application there. You have various reasons or rationale as far as why you could deny a license. One would be failure to disclose convictions, which is what we have here, or you have convictions, which my understanding is the gentleman has 3 retail theft convictions as well as an ordinance violation for possession of drug paraphernalia. And then the question becomes, even if he fills out the application again and discloses those criminal convictions, whether that's substantially related to the license.
So you know what his background is. So you checked his name out and you got those things. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my
Correct.
question, having dealt in my past life, so I know, for example, if someone has like a drinking offense within the last year or so, it's typically denied because it's a direct relation to the license that you're applying to. Could you, and I don't know if you can, is it possible for you to tell us that if he were to fill out go back and fill in the blanks, do the violations still result the same? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I understood you, Allison.
So basically, if he has a good example is you could say you're not going to hire someone as an accountant if they have embezzlement in their
Right, well, whether it's work
And so
related,
my
yeah,
question
yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah.
if we don't know, they know what's on his background, is if we do allow him to complete the application and resend it, would it be denied based off of what is in his criminal
Well, I
history?
think Tony mentioned it too. One was drug paraphernalia, the other
Correct.
was retail.
15 and in 14, he had
Yeah.
3 counts.
Yeah, but then it also depends on how long ago it was, if we would allow it or not. So that's my question, I guess. Would the result differ?
And I would say at this time, I'd still deny it. So, and that's kind of the way I also looked at this. There's a factor here. Number one is a factor, there was nothing on here. The fact that we went into this, and again, not knowing this gentleman from anyone else for that matter, was it purposely done that way? That's why he's here to talk to you about that tonight. I won't speak for him on that, nor will I give you my opinion at this time, but because of that, as well as then having the convictions on there, that would be my reason for denial as well.
So, Tony, the 3 convictions were drug paraphernalia? No?
1 for drug paraphernalia,
Okay,
ordinance violation,
right.
and then 3 counts of retail theft.
3 separate counts. Okay, all right.
If I can clarify, that was all in the same time frame.
Yeah.
So it was 1 incident, but 3 counts, if that makes sense.
Well, you can see the dilemma that we're in.
Of
You
course.
understand that? And did you learn your lesson from the times you were a little in trouble?
Well, exactly. I mean, that's why I brought in the letter
Yeah,
from my employer
okay,
to kind of
all
just, as a reference that when I did fill out the application, at least with Nakashima's, they knew exactly my full background, my criminal history. I didn't
Right.
hide that. And that was never my intention to come in here and deceive anybody. That was just, a complete accident. And that's why we're in the predicament. If I was being deceitful, I don't think I could go through the trouble to have my employer take up good standing and write a letter like that, and especially have them give me a good recommendation. I always come to work on time. I work right across the street. I might have even served some of you. I see a lot of people, and I do take this seriously, and I understand. Again, I do respect whatever decision you come to. I just would like to add, this was a long time ago. I did, probation. It was a first violation. I'd never gotten in trouble before that, and that's what kind of led to my issues with school. Right now, I'm on a path to redemption. I haven't gotten in trouble since. I've been working full-time, basically, since the incidents, and have been in good standing in the community. So that's basically what I came here to say.
Okay.
Well, all I can say is I'm just speaking for myself. I know what the other members are thinking, but you sound like you have your act together, so to speak. You're trying to go to school, you're trying to save some money. Did you say you're living with your parents?
Right now, yes.
Okay. I'm willing to give it another shot, but boy, I tell you, you mess up and both feet are going to come down. I think you know that. So I'll make a motion to grant this gentleman a bartender's license that he applied for.
Are we granting the bartender's license, or are we granting
What license
his
did you apply for?
ability to finish the application?
What was the license?
I would recommend if you're going to make a motion in that regard, that you would make a motion to approve his appeal.
To approve the appeal, okay.
Approve the appeal.
I'll make a motion then to approve the appeal.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the appeal. Do we have a second? I'll second.
I want to have a discussion
Yeah.
then.
Go ahead.
So just to clarify then, if those previous convictions were on fully disclosed, it would have led to a denial anyways.
Well, recommended denial, right? They would have recommended a denial.
Well, it would have been very similar to our previous 2 that we had a month or 2 ago, where it would have
And again, that's
been an appeal of the decision.
right. As a village, that's where I think we need to scrutinize based on kind of some of the direction that comes also from the state in regards to this. Just because you don't have a bartender's license doesn't mean you can't serve alcohol. You just have to have someone obviously there that has that license, which is why these people are applying. With that, yes, I would have, because again, I think our village needs to stand strong in making sure that anyone and everyone that serves alcohol to anybody, for that matter, does it in a responsible way. And again, nothing against our gentleman here this evening. Maybe he does, but I don't know that from an application and from what I see.
And then just to further clarify, just for the record, just whatever happens, no, that still goes to the full village board after this, whatever the decision is from our committee.
I was under that understanding, but thank you for clarifying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have another question. This is the first one I've been involved in. So if we deny the appeal, or we approve whatever he motioned, sorry, I forget.
Approve the appeal.
If we approve the appeal, what's the next step for him? Goes to village board.
Okay.
If the village board approves, he gets the license, or he gets to fill out the remaining spot on the applications?
He gets the license.
Okay. Gotcha. Do you guys all understand?
Yes.
Call the question?
Sure.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Of approving the appeal?
Yeah.
Yes. Aye.
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 You want to do a roll call? I'll call for a roll call, that's fine.
Okay,
Kim Bukowski?
Yes.
Mike Malczewski?
yes.
Josh?
No.
Joanne?
No.
Allison?
Yes.
Okay, this goes to the full board at the next meeting, which will be the
Second.
22nd.
Okay.
We strongly suggest you be there. If you're not there, this is going down. I can guarantee you that. If you don't show up at the village board meeting, whichever way that goes, you will be denied, trust me. You have to show up at that meeting if you're serious about this.
And I think just for me being here and taking the time with the letter, I am very serious, and I do really appreciate the deliberation and everything that you guys have gone through and asking the questions. I appreciate the thoroughness and kind of getting to see how everything works here. So again, I do appreciate you letting me speak to you and at least just giving me that opportunity to speak my voice. So I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Good, excellent.
Thank you.
You bet.
So just one time again, can I just get the date so I can make a note of that? So the 22nd?
22nd.
6:30.
6:30 p.m.
22nd, 6:30, same room.
Yep.
All right. So is there anything else I need? That's okay?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you again for seeing me tonight.
You bet.
Thank you.
Action item 7B, action on Class B beer, Class B liquor license combo exception for Nobuyuki LLC doing business as Nakashima of Japan.
There is a new, soon-to-be owner of Nakashima. All the paperwork is in order. It's the same remaining agent. No issues whatsoever with the licensing process.
Okay, if everything is in order, we can entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve action on Class B beer, Class B liquor license combo exception for Nobuyuki LLC doing business as Nakashima of Japan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Request to approve ordinance 010-1-19, grass and brush raking. And this is real timely because I had a talk with one of my neighbors who was dumping grass clippings in the gutter the other day.
So this is a request after discussion with Public Works staff who requested that there be some additional clarification to the proposed ordinance. So added in some additional language that basically indicates that grass clippings, brush, garden waste, and other similar yard waste cannot be raked into the street or gutter, and that leaves and grass clippings shall be raked to the parkway. So just additional clarification from Public Works staff.
Can we get this on our website so people can find it easily?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this is a very, very interesting topic, and Mike, you hit the nail on the head. We moved last November, but I had a neighbor who, two of them, constantly, always, in the gutter. And, we would joke about it at times, but it's not funny because a lot of that, especially with the rain we're having, it's going to go into the system, and that's just awful. But I think we have never really enforced this ordinance. And it's a toughie, it's a tough ordinance. You got people, lots of people, who do this. So I just hope that the street department gets serious, but give people a warning letter. If they're going to start issuing citations, give people a warning letter first, so they at least have a notice that, hey, well, okay, I shouldn't be doing this anymore, rather than just issuing citations right from the get-go. But it's a serious problem.
The residents of Ashwaubenon don't understand the millions and millions and millions of dollars that it took to build and operate the stormwater runoff process here. And a little bit of this here, a little bit that there, winds up being a whole lot of stuff in other places that cost us a whole lot more money. So yeah, I'm in favor of this. And this was dear to the heart of our former president, Mike Obmajuri. I remember him speaking out loud about don't put your leaves in the gutter many, many, many times.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance 010-1-19 grass and brush raking.
Second.
We have motion and a second to approve ordinance 010-1-19 grass and brush raking. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Items for next agenda. If you have some, get a hold of Terry or me, and we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. We stand adjourned.